많은 성공한 부자들이 공통적으로 말하는 성공 법칙 중 하나가 바로 끌어당김의 법칙입니다. 오늘은 시크릿의 주인공으로 잘 알려진 밥프록터의 강연을 들어볼 텐데요. 밥프록터는 우리가 끌어당김의 법칙에 대해 잘못 이해하고 있다고 말하고 있습니다. 밥프록터가 말하는 끌어당김의 법칙은 원하는 것이 성공의 유일한 전제조건이라고 하는데요. 간절히 원하고 원하는 곳의 주파수에서 생각한다면 그에 맞는 행동과 결과를 얻을 것이라고 합니다. 생각은 에너지이고 파동을 가지고 있다. 우리는 우리가 생각한 대로 된다. 원하는 것을 반드시 적어서 자주 볼 수 있고 잘 보이는 곳에 두어라. 그리고 내가 무엇을 원하는지 구체적으로 원하고 즉시 결정하고 목표를 향해 움직여라. 돈에 대한 태도를 바꿔라. 내 인생의 주인공이 되어 주도적으로 만들어 나아가라. 부를 이루고 성공하고 싶다면 반드시 우리가 바꿔야 하는 것들에 대한 밥프록터의 강연 잘 들어보세요.
Here is a simple lesson that's totally misunderstood. Two things you must know to create wealth. Now, I think I'd be fairly safe in saying at least 90% of everyone in this room wants to create wealth. And if I already got it, you want to create more because it involves growth. Going somewhere, doing something. What do you have to know? Just two things. Number one, you have to know where you are, you have to know where you're going, and you've got to get moving. Now that is so simple, and it's so obvious, you have to ask yourself, why are so many people stuck? People are actually stuck. All they have to know is where they are and where they're going. Now you could say the problem is here, that they don't have a goal. And that could be the problem, but I don't think it's the real one. They might have the goal and still not even be moving toward it. Why? The problem is down here. It's where you are. They're being controlled by a paradigm that they don't know, they don't understand, and yet it's keeping them right where they are. It's so complicated you do not understand it. There's nothing but a program. It's a group of habits in the subconscious mind that's controlling our behavior. Now think of this. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in. If the paradigm does not change, ultimately the results will remain much the same from one year to the next. Now that is very discouraging for an intelligent individual. They don't expect anything better than they're getting. But there's people that do expect better, and they're giving it everything they got, and they're not getting it. What's the problem? It's their paradigm. Okay? We've got to learn how to make decisions. And most people don't know how to make decisions. They really don't. That's too bad. He said, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. Now he points out in here there's 30 major causes of failure. There's only 13 principles of success. He said this is not a statement of theory. This is a fact. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every person must conquer. I have people coaching different times in Q&As where they ask me how to overcome procrastination. I tell them to read this chapter every day for maybe 60 days. It's a long chapter, but it's a good chapter. He's got some good information in here. Okay? Now he says analysis of several hundred people who had experienced accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing the decisions slowly if and when they were changed. People who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly and of changing them fast and often. Why did they do that? It's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of confidence. Confidence comes through understanding. Now, for years, I wondered, how the hell do they make their decisions so fast? I couldn't figure that out. Every one of them. They're few in number relative to the masses. And I never stopped studying it, and because that's what I was looking for, that's what I found. Now, think of this. That's my phone. That represents my phone. This represents your phone. If I want to talk to you on your phone, I've got to get on your frequency. The second I'm on your frequency, you and I are connected. Makes no difference where you are. I could take a picture here, I could hit send, and simultaneous with me hitting it, you've got it. Now, we seem to have a basic understanding of this. I think what I'm saying here, everyone in the room understands this when we're using our phones. However, when it comes to life, we get lost. We don't seem to understand it. Well, let's try and understand it. Let these lines represent levels of vibration, because that's all this is, level vibration. Every vibration is referred to as a frequency. You and I think on frequencies. Thought is energy. Thought waves are cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space. Your thoughts activated cells in their brain that got them thinking. We do this all the time. Now, let's suppose this is the frequency that you're thinking on. If that's the frequency you're thinking on, that's going to dictate the results that you get. The results you get are nothing but the manifestation of your own thinking. We become what we think about. So let's say that's where we want to go. This is where I am. That's where I want to go. How do I get there? This is where the average person is thinking, I'm going to do that as soon as I get the money. You can relate to that. I'm going to do that as soon as the kids are out of school. That's not going to do it. I'm going to start my own business as soon as I get the money. And you know, you do that, and pretty soon the decision fades, and then the goal fades. Why? Well, you didn't get the money, so you couldn't do it. Problem was, didn't have the money. You talk to anybody that's high in finance, and they'll tell you the money is never the problem. Ideas are the problem. You got the right idea, you'll always find the money. Well, you see, we're thinking down here on this frequency. Your mind and your thoughts are down here on this frequency. What you want is up here on a higher frequency. You cannot get what you want up there while your thoughts are down here. Your mind and thoughts must focus on the same frequency as what you want. If you want it, it's already here. And you make a decision, it's got to be a committed decision. You say, I'm doing that. Now, the second you make a committed decision, everything starts to change. You begin to think and act like the person you want to become. You stop thinking down there, you're thinking up here now. You're thinking on a higher frequency. Want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. Doesn't matter whether you have the money. Do you really want it? If you really want it, you will get it. But you've got to really want it. Yet you also have to understand that everything you need is here. But you've got to be specific. It's not good enough to say, I want more money. That's not it. You've got to be specific. How much more money? You know exactly what you want. You do not have to understand all the basic principles between sending the picture to the person on the other side of the world for it to get there. All you have to do is know how to do it. Want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. That is so important, you should write it down. Write it somewhere that you're going to see it often. Maybe get a sign and put it up in your house. Want is the only prerequisite to get what you want. If he's done it, you can do it. If I do it, you can do it. If you guys have done it, anybody can do it. You got to start with what you want, and that's all you need, but you've got to make an irrevocable decision you're going to get it. See, want's the prerequisite. That's why successful people make decisions so fast. They know what they want. This is such powerful information, you'd think it would be taught in all schools. The truth is it's not. Because it can be. But it's not. Now, this is one of the most important lessons. It doesn't matter whether you've got the money. That makes no difference. It doesn't matter whether you've got the resources. That doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter if you know the right people. It doesn't make any difference. Now, this sounds so preposterous to a person that's never studied this. You've got to know where the money... No, you don't. Listen, the money is here. When you're in harmony with it, you will never stop it flowing to you. Money goes where it's invited, and it stays where it's welcome. Listen to most people. The way they talk about money, you think it was the worst stuff in the world. I get so sick of it. I just never have enough money. Well, they're getting very angry. Hey, why don't you change your attitude? Now, you see, that really sounds stupid. Here they are, they're in need of money, and somebody says, change your attitude. They don't even know what attitude is. Yet it sounds like we need so much more than attitude change, but really, that's all I changed. So you've got to understand what attitude is. It has no form. It's a clear, unadulterated power, and as it flows into your conscious mind, you have the ability to make out of it anything you want. Wow. No, anything you want. This is powerful stuff. This is why successful people make decisions so fast. Back it up. Want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. You don't even have to understand this in any depth. Just accept it. If you really want it, that's all you need. You don't need the money. You don't need to know how you're going to get it. You don't need to know any of that stuff. But you've got to really want it. You see, when you really want it and you make a decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on. The way to get it is already here. But you got to get in harmony or you're never going to figure it out. That's why when you get on that frequency, that's the only information that can come to you. Yes, the information you need to get there. You've done this. You've done this in different times, not really understanding what you've done. If I can do it, you can do it. I didn't know hardly anything. I really didn't. I just kept doing the book says, just do what it says. Want is the only prerequisite. That's why successful people make decisions so fast. They know what they want. This is pretty basic, but it's very misunderstood. You got to be strong, but if you're going to be strong, you got to be aware. Awareness is power. We're going to become aware. School focuses on the intellect, the degree. Be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. Well, that's what we're talking about. See, your results should always be under construction. Always. Should never be satisfied with where you are. Now you got to ask, are you ready to change? If we went around and hooked everybody up to a polygraph and sucked the truth out of you, everybody'd say, yeah, I'm ready to change. But you know, the truth is, you're probably not. I'm of the opinion, you go to change your paradigm and you could have some real serious trouble with people that are closest to you. They don't want you to change. Most people are extras in their own movie. They really are. They don't see themselves as the star at all. It's their movie. It's their life. You should be the star of your movie. You're the director. You're also the producer. You're the whole deal. You're the creative director. You make all the decisions about yourself. Why would we make ourselves extra in our own movie? Watch a movie. You see, you really got to ask yourself, what do you really want? What do you really want?